They say that biologists who read get cultured, but how do we know what to read when there's so many good books out there? Fortunately, I'm a voracious reader, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany. In this video, you'll get a brief summary of my 4 favorite books. To join this elitist cabal of books, your literature needs to be novel, transformative, and addictive. But you don't have to take my word for it. At number 4, we have The Gene, written by Siddhartha Mukherjee. This guy, a leading cancer researcher / literature genius. What has society done to deserve his works of art? I don't know, but anything he writes, I read it. We start off with Gregory Mendel, the based pea merchant who discovered heredity, and also how to make 9th grade biology students incredibly bored. The discovery of heredity led some scientists to accept the eugenics movement, which is now seen as a bit of a mistake. We then move on to the discovery of the DNA helix, which was made possible by Watson, Crick, and another person. Understanding DNA allows us to use CRISPR to edit DNA. Will editing DNA allow us to turn into X-Men-like superheroes? I don't know, but I've been conducting some underground laboratory experiments that will allow me to shoot lightning bolts out of my eyes at the person who cut me off in traffic. One of the most fascinating parts of the book is when scientists discovered they could combine DNA from different species. This led to the Silmar Conference, where scientists decided to put restrictions on the use of recombinant DNA to prevent the production of a weapon of mass destruction. But according to the US government, China didn't get the memo. At number 3, we have Systems Biology, a very brief introduction, written by Eberhard Volt. Systems biology is what the cool kids are studying. Next time you're on a 787 Dreamliner, consider the fact that it has 2.8 million parts, whereas the average adult male has around 36 trillion cells and 400 types of cells contained within 60 tissues. What I'm trying to say is that modeling the human being is incredibly hard and requires an extraordinary amount of data and math. You might have thought that as a biologist, you could have ignored math. It turns out that it can help us speed up science. Biologists seem to enjoy winning Nobel Prizes on accident. However, we can now compare vast amounts of data between someone in a disease state and someone in a healthy state. This allows us to make hypotheses about their future and which predictions we need to test. That's right, predictions, like we're physicists or something. We can predict the optimal growth rate of a cell, or how much soy your farm will produce based on sun, fertilizer, and whatever else it is that soy farmers care about. At number 2, we have Chasing My Cure, written by Dr. David Fajgenbaum. It's pretty rare that we read a book written by a doctor trying to cure his own disease. Rarer for a doctor to pioneer treatments for his disease, and even rarelier for a doctor to create an organization to treat others with that disease. Dr. David Fajgenbaum noticed he was becoming incredibly sick. His symptoms included exhaustion, enlarged lymph nodes, and a general trend towards death. After receiving chemo and almost dying multiple times, he looked like before and after progress photos in a gym, but headed in the wrong direction. This meant that he needed to discover his cure before he died. Will he discover his cure? You'll need to read the book to find out. At number 1, we have Song of the Cell, also written by Siddhartha, that guy again. This book traces the history of every major discovery of the cell. We're introduced to Antony van Leeuwenhoek, the father of microbiology and a microscope expert. In that era, documenting microbes for the first time would be like NASA documenting UFOs for the first time in our era. We're also introduced to Ignaz Semmelweis, who made the mistake of telling doctors they should wash their hands before surgery. He was rewarded for this discovery by being beaten and thrown into a mental institution where he died. Advances in microbiology allowed for the creation of in vitro fertilization. This is what allowed a 74-year-old woman to have a baby in 2019, which is great. Over 300 years after the invention of the microscope, we're able to manipulate cells for our own benefit. Just imagine what we'll be able to do over 300 years from now. I've put links below to make it easier for you to buy these books. Didn't see your favorite book? Let me know in the comments, and click like and subscribe to support me.